R&B money. We up. Thanks. jvalentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
jvalentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority, you hear what I'm saying? On all things.
All things.
All things.
All?
Every last one of them.
Oh.
R&B. Is it in your blood?
Did you come from it?
Did you come from it?
Oh.
Did you get it out the womb? Huh? Are you on a level of perfection
Oh.
that you will be studied?
How many Grammys do you got?
How many Grammys do you have?
Yeah.
Have you perfected your gift? Have you put in the hours to understand? Can you sing more than one voice with one throat? That's all I'm asking you. She can. And she's here. Ladies and gentlemen, Lalah Hathaway in the building.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much.
Something wrong with you.
No, it's all right.
It doesn't make sense. I have two perfect vocals. There's Eric Dawkins and there's you.
I fully agree with you on the Eric Dawkins. Fully.
Perfect.
He's in my top 10 of all time voices.
No flaws.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
And I've seen you live. I've heard you on record. You don't miss.
Sometimes I miss.
I haven't heard it.
I cover it up good.
That is the gift.
There's no
That is
missing.
the-
There's no
that
such
is the
thing. Once you
gift.
understand there's no such thing as a miss. But yeah, I usually don't miss stuff.
Yeah. When I'm doing what I'm doing, you won't catch me missing.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it somehow.
You're
The
just
vocal Steph Curry.
Oh man.
I like that.
Every time you shoot, we think it's going in.
Every time
that's the
you
other
saying
part.
a word.
That's the other part. It's the expectation, though. That's if you think, you know how you see a girl on Instagram and she looks away.
Mm-hmm.
That when she walks in front of you, she don't look that way really.
Mm.
But you're so used to looking at that other way that's what you see.
Social.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. And normally we start at the beginning, but you just played us your new project.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for listening.
no, please. And I feel like you're taking like jazz, soul, and I want to mix in something else in there. What can I mix? What else can I mix in there?
Pop, blues, alternative music.
I want to say alternative.
Yeah.
I want to add alternative. So R&B,
Got some house
jazz,
vibes
soul.
to it.
Yeah.
Like I feel
It's got
like
a lot of stuff.
I feel like you're somewhere we're not yet.
Really?
I feel like you're in the future. And it's because like this is how I see it. Like for me, like listening to it, I'm about to study it to apply it to future work.
Interesting. To me, it feels like I'm in the real good past of me. Because in 1990, when I started making records, I wanted to make records that had all that stuff on them. Like I had Shaka Khan records that had Beatles covers and duets with Rick James and Arif Mardin, like these whole designed bebop medley things on them. So I grew up with records where people were stretching across the whole record. So that's always what I have tried to do.
Mm-hmm. And it's like there's no boundary, which is what I love.
Yeah. I like to stretch.
And so when we were having that conversation, I was like, oh my God, if you don't put this tempo on their head and keep hitting them with it, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on the sequencing.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't talking about sequencing. I'm talking about singles.
Oh, yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I'm talking about singles.
I totally agree.
They need to feel that of you right in here.
But the concept of a single, though, like, they're going to feel everything. We're going to do what we can do for everything. But the concept of the single is like, what is that anymore?
it's just a lead record.
Yeah.
It's just a record that you're putting emphasis on at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. And
Absolutely.
so, but if we're dialing into single and we start talking radio, then that space is still very much a viable space for what you do.
But where would you, like, what radio would you go to with
R&B
that?
radio, off top.
What R&B
Right
radio?
now. Have you R&B radio?
Is that a thing?
Oh, we changed that. Yeah. R&B radio is a whole thing. Yeah.
Is that a thing for that kind of tempo?
It is absolutely a thing. Chris Brown is on R&B radio.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
CB, as you call him.
CB. C Breezy. I'm Team Breezy right here. It is a thing. SZA is on R&B radio.
Not with tempo.
Absolutely.
SZA doesn't do tempo, does she? Am I missing a record?
Tempo enough.
I think you're looking at it from like, yours is just more upbeat. I think SZA does more of a downbeat type of record, and I agree with that. But I think what he's saying is that it's now the format is just opened up to more.
Absolutely.
Has it? That's good to know.
Yep.
Because I am a person that is not in my car all the time listening to the radio. So I get my music from all kinds of sources. Some from the radio, some from the satellite radio, a lot from friends, a lot from Discovery.
Let me help you.
What you got?
Number 2 on R&B radio, Tyler, Water.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Number 1 on R&B radio, Usher, Good.
Yeah.
Number 3 on R&B radio, Victoria Monet, Oh My Mama.
Oh, yeah. Also, though, still not tempo. Urgency, but not tempo.
Tempo.
That ain't tempo.
It is absolutely tempo.
That ain't tempo.
Listen, if Blurred Lines came out right now, it'll be on R&B radio.
Well, yes. That's not for tempo, though.
That's tempo.
I hear you.
Boom, 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 boom.
Everybody. Yes.
Everybody.
Yes, absolutely. I feel you.
Because now R&B radio is in a place where it is being competitive with mainstream radio. It's trying to mirror it in a sense. And so the only place where I think R&B radio is now starting to pivot to catch up is for an artist to be able to have multiple records at the same time.
Right.
In a great charting
some
position.
Some of them do. Yeah.
So that's the next change or evolution to R&B radio. But in terms of the tempo and even the subject matter, it's wide open now.
Yeah. I mean, I have been at radio stations where, like I had a new record out and the program director said, we just can't stop playing Forever for Always for Love. And that record came out in the early aughts.
Mm-hmm.
So I recognized that things have changed since I put a record out.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed absolutely with me, and things have changed in the scope of what Black radio is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting to know if you feel like something that's 4 on the floor can live in that way, particularly from someone like me that they really just want to hear like the blues and the ballads from, then yeah, I would go for that.
I am you and I are mirrored in the blues and the ballad box. We are in there. You know what I'm saying? And we just said, man, I'm gonna find one. And when I find it, it's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we found it, and it's going.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just a concise. It's like a very mean decision. This is it.
You just pick it and go.
This is it. What y'all doing? This is what we on.
I'm going to show this to my whole team today. I'm going to tell them all about it. I'm going to say, Tank said, tell them all about it.
That's what we're in. Like we're not. We just can't let them dictate it no more. And I say that for you because
true.
You have so much to offer in terms of creativity. You should not be limited.
I agree with you 100%.
For no reason.
Yeah. I know an artist like me, I can just speak for myself. I fall into that paradigm of like being one foot in what is the traditional part of this business.
Mm-hmm.
And then both the other feet in the future of where I want to go and what I want to be able to do.
Because musically you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I have been doing it musically, but it's always been a thing. It's always been like, this is what you do and you kind of stay in that box, which is why I applaud a lot of these young artists, particularly women, who understand their power and understand that whatever they decide to do is what's going to get done. It's not even like a radio thing. It's deciding what you want to get to people.
And it's also a testament to, now social media, whereas like
it'll talk to you.
Tell you.
It'll talk to you. And for someone like yourself, your fan base is so vast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've been building your fan base and you have so many people who just love you and what you decide to give them.
Right.
And I think sometimes with artists, you fall into, like you said, you fall into some of those boxes of, oh, well, this is just what they expect. Well, that's what they expect if that's all you're giving them, but you're giving them, and you've been giving them multiple things. Now, what you decide to push the button on, that's amongst yourself and your team.
I love the tempo, because I think the biggest misconception about me is that, like I'm somewhere sad singing the blues.
You're clearly not. You're clearly not either.
That I'm not like a vibrant person that has joy, and it's definitely not that.
Yeah.
So I love the ballads, and I love to sing, and I love to wring people out emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like to have fun. I like it,
That's simple. Have fun.
Yeah.
But it's another thing too of, are you willing, and I'm using you as an example, but just as artists, period. Like, are we willing to take that chance?
Yeah.
Because every artist isn't willing to take that chance. Some artists just like, listen, this is what they like me for, I love me for, this is what I'll make. Other than being like, you know what, this is what I love, and hopefully you love it with me.
Yeah.
And some people aren't willing to make that sacrifice and have people be like, that ain't what I wanted from you.
Right. Sing track number 13.
Yeah.
But it's so many people, especially now with social media and how fast the music business moves, it's people all over the world that hear your song as soon as it comes out.
Absolutely.
So for those...
It's a different world now.
Those other millions that want a certain thing, is a billion people out here that just like, oh my God, I've never heard of Lalah Hathaway.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody has access to the same stuff.
Everybody got access now.
So the whole point for me is to be able to, on every record, is to be able to capture the bass and give them a loving hug and let them sing the blues.
Yeah.
And then expand the territory past that.
100%.
And that's always
100%.
what I'm trying to do.
100%.
Yeah.
And this drops, this album drops when?
This album drops June 14th, in time for your Juneteenth celebration.
Because I wanted to get this at the top of the episode to make sure that they understand that June 14th is, in the name of the album?
Vanta Black.
Vanta Black. And what does Vanta Black mean?
It's like the blackest black. Yeah. Even though, I found in the last few years that like, I'm super blackety black.
Yeah.
And I was always, but now I got extra black in the last 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Just
You've gotten blacker.
I've gotten blacker.
I think I've gotten blacker too.
Hey.
What?
I feel like most of us have gotten blacker.
We've just settled into all the black.
Yeah.
All the blackness.
All the blackness.
Since like 2013, 15, I started looking around and really evaluating my life in this country and my life like on the planet as a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that just from all of this is where all of this comes.
Don't you do that.
And the culture that we dictate is just dictated to the whole like
all of it.
Everything I do, me as in the body, me, all of us.
Talk about it. Yep.
Is studied throughout no matter what corner you go in the world.
Blackety black.
There's some blackety black stuff there.
Yeah. Vanta Black.
And we're like a small, newish group of people, really. If you look at it in the history of peoples, you know what I'm saying? Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we have spoken to every society in the world and influenced it with our culture, with our songs, with our hair, with our asses, with our lips, with the way we talk and the way we walk and all of that.
Yeah.
So it has been sinking into my brain through osmosis in the last 10, 15 years.
Vanta Black, the title cut is absolutely out of this world.
Thank you.
Out of it. I'm just still like listening as we're talking. So I'm gonna get through it.
Yes. All our
because
car
it was some Earth, Wind and Fire in there. It was just so many things throughout the project that I was just like. And then you went into some crazy time signatures, which was very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Some people are gonna be very confused.
That I'm sure she sang very easily.
It's easy, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know where to snap their fingers.
Just ride with it. Just ride with it. Just ride with it.
I'm a drummer, so I was like, oh my God, you cannot do that. I told you can't do that.
Yeah, you
it's not
sure
cool.
did tell me that. You admonished me on my own shit. Anyway.
Okay, listen. What we love to do, we love to go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Like
Chicago.
Shut down.
Like where it came
Blackity
from.
black.
Blackity black.
Chicago.
Oh.
Blackity black.
I mean, the question I normally ask is, when did somebody say or identify that you had it and you were special? But I just feel like for some reason,
you were born.
As soon as when you were born, like when they cut the cord, you hit a note. Yeah, I just feel like I feel like that happened.
No, I don't. You know what? It's funny. I think that from the time I was very little, you know, like I had perfect pitch. My parents had perfect pitch, and
both of your parents have perfect pitch?
Yeah. I think that my mother said that the elevator would come down and it would whistle, and my dad would say, "What note is that?" And I was able to say it, which seems like a big deal.
Seems?
But, no. What I'm saying is, when you listen to music all the time, you develop a memory for music. And for a lot of people, that muscle memory of hearing a song and knowing what key to sing it in. Like my best friend is pretty tone deaf. But when she starts a record, when she starts singing a record a cappella, she normally starts it in the right key. It's a memory. Do you know what I mean?
It's still
so I'm
connected
start telling people that
to a gift.
It's true.
If you can't
it
sing,
is connected to a
you
gift.
got a bad memory. That's just the new
it.
thing. Be
That's
like, oh, no, you all right, bro. You just got a
My
bad
wife
memory.
has a horrible memory.
It's my new shit. Thank you. I'm using that.
It's not that you're not gifted, babe. You have a bad
It's
memory.
just a bad memory. It's the same way you learn to talk. It's the same way you follow whomever's teaching you to talk, how to talk, the inflections, the way you go down, the way it's up is bright and down is no. It's all of that. We unlearn that as we get older, but that's the same way you learn to talk is the way you learn to sing.
Okay, let me try some. I was a whole step down.
What
So
were
I
you
have
singing?
relative pitch.
What were you singing?
I was singing How Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's like I can hold on, let me try another one.
These are good exercises for your ear. These are good ear training exercises.
Half step down.
Okay, so you know you're within it. I'm microtonally off nowadays sometimes.
Okay.
But Claire Fisher told me that the world is not vibrating at 440 anymore like it was.
That is a fact.
So the
I'll
world
take it.
changed.
I'll take it. It wasn't me.
Wasn't you?
Fact.
I'll take it.
Oh yeah, you don't hear spitting bars today.
No, it's just you know.
Yeah, it's a high
she
level.
she different.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I'm
a
saying?
high
It's just okay. And then I want to ask you this, and then we'll go back to the beginning. What made you say there's a chance I can sing two notes at the same time?
You know what? It just happened. And then I thought, oh. And then I kept trying it. And then I would show it to people and say, what can I do with this? And people were like, And then I did it. And I did it on a John P. Key record as a little joke. And he kept it on the record. And then I started doing it more often. And then I did it for that Snarky Puppy record. And people were able to see it actually happening. Because there were people floating around on the internet like, watch this, but it was not real. And so when people could see it happening and watch me working it out, like, singing over changes with it, which I didn't know I could do either until that moment, then it became like, oh, well, that's a phenomenal thing. But I've been doing it since I was like 13.
Did you want to be in a group or something?
No.
I was just asking. Instead of having imaginary friends, you had imaginary harmony.
Extra voices.
Yeah, like,
Imaginary singing group.
like, where does this come from?
No, I just make a lot. I make a lot of sounds. I'm just into sound.
Okay, you hit an elevator. You Pop says, "What key is that?" And you can say the key. At what age is this?
2, 3, I guess. I don't know.
That's not normal.
It's normal if you grew up in a house of music. It's normal, like
It's not. I don't want you to
Isn't it?
believe that.
Isn't it? I think
I
it
do
is.
not
I'm pretty
want you
sure-
to get on here.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No,
I'm pretty sure
not,
it's totally normal.
No,
Pretty sure it's normal.
absolutely.
Looking in the camera deeply is not going to make it. any more normal.
I'm pretty sure it's normal. Like, you know how you grow up with kids that have musician parents or big brother and sister parents, and they know a lot of music.
Mm-hmm.
I just grew up in a house full of music.
Yeah, and there's like, you know, there are people who are what we call
Savants?
not geniuses, but when they're kids, when they
Prodigies.
start prodigies. Like you're clearly a prodigy because the gift resonated so different at an early age. Like that's a thing that, you know, you ask an adult, okay, or going into your adult years, like
very skilled at something.
Got it. But this is something that you're like, you know, like a Tony Royster doing clinics at 10.
Yeah.
In front of grown men. Like this is how you play the drums. Like that type of thing is what I'm trying to explain that you had. I'm telling you it's not normal and you can't tell me
that part
differently.
is not normal. And I was a piano player as a kid, and I traveled and played piano, and I played, you know, for my mother, like for her voice lessons, I would play piano for her. My sister and I both grew up doing music like from day one. Literally from day one. And so that was just the regularity of my life. I don't really, it's hard to see it any other way because I felt like whose parents don't do music. Everybody does music. It's everywhere.
It was just just normal for you. Yeah.
So it wasn't even about making a decision about it. It just was.
Yeah. But there was never, I mean, the only time my mother ever threatened me was like I would want to go outside and she'd say, you don't want to play piano? And I'd say, no, I want to go outside. And she'd say, okay, I'm going to call Miss Bianchini now and tell her you don't want to take lessons anymore. And I'd say, no, I'll do it. That's the only pressure I ever got.
So you were in lessons as well?
Absolutely.
Because I knew you were studying. I didn't know how early you started.
Started like 3, 4,
lessons.
like that at the American Conservatory of Music. So my thing is like, it's the nature that I had and then also the nurture, which my parents also had. They were born musicians, but they met at Howard at the Fine Arts School.
Shout out to the Fine Arts Department at Howard University that developed me.
Absolutely.
In that basement at the Fine Arts Building.
Not the basement.
Musicians shedding.
Yes, shedding.
In them rooms and in drum rooms.
Yes.
And oh my God. I saw some from Gordon to Marlon Saunders to Chris Daddy Dave. Like,
so many.
Oh my God.
So many.
And your parents met there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
I'm a honorary Howard baby.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
And so as you're developing your tone, are you emulating Pops at this time? Are you like saying, okay, that is, or it's just you were just born with that?
I'm just singing, and I didn't even I knew I was a musician. I used to tell my mother I wanted to be a magician. And she'd say, no, you mean musician. But I actually wanted to do magic. I actually wanted to do magic.
I got a cramp.
It's true. I got the magic set. It's Mr. Magic. Remember that guy?
You don't want her to do magic, girl?
What's wrong with you? I'm a magician.
You want her to do magic?
It's that she really wanted to do
I really did. I didn't realize that my voice was going to be like the actual feature of my gift until probably high school. Yeah.
So are you growing up like, okay, now, right, where you have children of celebrities and this is just what it's supposed to be, you know, Bronny James is supposed to be
right.
in
You
the
just
NBA.
fall in.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So none of that for you. It wasn't
we
that.
were doing music all the time and we were in lessons and I went to performing arts high school and all of that. But there was no, my mother is super about the regular life. So we are, yes, music is what we do, but we do other things too.
Gotcha.
So there was I never had a question in my mind about like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a musician and be on TV and make records. I knew that would be along at some point, but the rest of it was very like regular. We weren't singing for family or, you know, I was not like in the choir growing up.
But were you performing arts school even?
Yeah, even in performing arts school though. So I got to my performing arts school for the audition And I had this Anne Murray song because it's the one I had sheet music to. So I'm 14 and they start playing and I said, I cried a tear. And the man said, wait. This is the wrong octave. You're going to sing it up an octave. And I thought, I cried it. No, I don't sing it up here. He said, well, maybe you should try the theater department because your voice is too breathy. Your voice is, it's not a right voice. So I tried theater. I tried desperately the dance department, which did not work out for me at all. But it was not a thing until really.
Don't you do it. I can dance. Don't you?
Uh-oh.
Don't you do this.
You've met your twin.
Uh-oh.
Twin.
Where have you been? Yeah, no.
So, okay, it didn't work out
Yeah,
in the dance department.
it worked out over time, but I didn't really even start. I feel like I started coming into my instrument like in college. I got to college and people started coming up to me on the stairs like, hey, are you Donny Hathaway's daughter? And I was like, yeah. Say, oh, we want you to come sing with us or come be in my ensemble or come, make music with us.
That group that you was preparing for when you was singing
girls.
harmony by yourself.
Them girls. That's where I discovered like my sound and I'm still discovering it.
And you went to Berkeley,
I
correct?
did.
The
Most prestigious.
Is it?
My cousin went to Berkeley, the one who inspired me to do all this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he graduated from Berkeley.
I applied to like 2 schools. I knew I wanted to go to Berkeley because I had these friends in high school that were guitar players. And they said they were going to Berkeley. Mm-hmm. They gave me my Pat Metheny records. They gave me my Jean-Luc Ponty records. And I thought, oh, it's not a classical school. Mm-hmm. No one will judge me for the breathiness of my voice or make me try to sing in a register that's not comfortable. That's where I want to go.
That's just crazy that, like, as you say this, right? Because, when we listen, when I heard you, when I discovered you, I was like, oh, that's perfect. That's incredible.
Yeah.
But there were people who early on didn't get it.
I never thought you would.
I never thought you would say that.
There's people that still don't get it.
Impossible.
It's a true thing. Everything is not for everybody.
But
no, we are in a subjective business.
Of course, subjective is one thing, but right and wrong are another, right?
Yeah. No, for someone to that's a crazy statement.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, I've been fired by vocal teachers before.
So at no point did you ever have the, I'm a Hathaway, right?
No,
no,
never.
Okay, all right.
No, never.
I probably would use that one.
Leverage.
Relax.
No.
I'm a Hathaway.
No.
Okay,
that's a t-shirt too.
No.
Relax.
No.
I'm a Hathaway.
That's a good
Do
one.
your people make hits?
That's a good one. That's a good one. No, I never had that.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. It built my character. It built me into deciding like, okay, I can't sing like those girls. What is the way that I sing? What is my sound? What is the characteristic? What are the characteristics of my instrument that make it singular?
Yes.
Because I can't do what those girls can do. I can't belt. I can't sing high. I can't, all those things that I used to go to a show and see these women sing, particularly women.
Mm-hmm.
Women singing and feel like, oh, I wish I could do that. And I still have those things I want to be able to do. Mm-hmm. But I have always more connected with the men that I listen to because I was always in that register.
Yeah.
So I'm 12 years old at the roller rink singing Yearning in the original key, So
it is that depth in your voice though that makes it
that's what makes you special.
Singular. And
Thank
makes
you.
it special.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because I've seen you live go to that basement and everybody just like. But
Alvin Chia told me, he said, if you go any lower, you'll need an exorcism.
But it's so rich.
Thank you.
And like it's so rich and right.
Yeah.
I'm still not connecting with we got to shout those people out who didn't get it.
No, they just
What
didn't.
were you thinking?
It was a European, everything is kind of European, and that's another one of those things I had to reckon with.
In the kind of the studied space.
Absolutely.
Got
When you're singing Carl Mio Ben, there's only 7 ways you can really sound on that song.
And there's a difference in music is the one thing too where most of the things that are quote unquote supposed to be right usually don't work in the business.
Right.
Right? Like,
yeah,
it is very much, with all due respect, like, this is a business where if you can't do, you teach.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of it as well.
You know what I mean? Like, most people that can really do this aren't teachers.
Yeah.
Not in music.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something else. It's something else that connects to the audience.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the...
Well, I think we're past the time, right? Because there was a time where right was right.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I think so. I think there was a time where right was right.
When
When you heard
that
a young Michael Jackson sing,
I guarantee you there were some people that had an opinion about Mike,
but I'm just talking about the effect of it. It still was like, that's right. When they heard Ray Charles, it's like, oh yeah. When they heard Stevie Wonder, yep.
There is an undeniable quality about greatness that's always going to rise. Period.
Okay, I like the way you said that.
There's an undeniable. The cream will always rise.
I like
to the
the
top.
way you said that.
But there was somebody in the corner like, you singing, you're too raspy, Ray.
Yeah.
Just too raspy.
When you start doing that,
Stop moving your head, Ray.
somebody got something to say in the music business.
Everybody has something to say.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah. So, get me to is college discovering the vocal. You're in many groups. You remember?
Did you get into groups or did you?
Group
I
name?
was not in any groups. I was in Vocal Summit,
That was
which is
just
like a
in the
acapella
school.
type situation.
Like what's
Like
the
Take
movie?
Six.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the movie is
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, kind of like that.
You're not proud of those
All right.
days.
Got it.
You're not proud of
We were great. We were actually really good.
So full, like 6-part, like the
Yeah,
whole. Ooh, I know that was crazy.
yeah.
Because
really
I love
good.
Take 6 is about like one of my favorite.
Yeah, I like to think of them as Take 7,
Because you're in the group.
including me.
Yeah.
When I like to show up and
Group.
just, can I just please?
We're in Jodeci.
Oh,
Yeah, we're in Jodeci.
Yep.
I don't know if they know it, but we're in Jodeci.
right on.
I'm in Take 6 too, but
Jodeci about to go on the road again, aren't they?
yeah, they got
Yeah, we are.
Of course we are. We got shit to do.
Yeah, of course we
We're
are.
busy.
Of course we are. We booked the
We're
business.
booked.
We got shit to do.
I
Wait,
appreciate
you in
that.
Take 6 too?
Yeah, but see, she can be an extra number because she knows where the other notes are.
I
don't.
I just be on
I'm-
the melody.
I'm just on the
I'm
melody.
also
I
in
just be
Boys
singing
to
the
Men,
melody.
and I do the talking parts in
Wow.
Boys to Men.
You are busy.
I try to be.
So many gigs.
I try to be.
So many gigs.
Because girl, we're just running around with that other fella. You're definitely not gonna be able to do that line.
No.
I didn't mind.
I didn't mind.
You're not gonna be able to do that.
I mind.
I'm mad.
Get me to Discovery to where it becomes like now it's about a record company and a budget and a project.
So I got signed to Virgin when I was probably 17 or 18. I was in school. I used to get on an Amtrak
Love
and
that.
come from Boston out here.
Wait. You were taking the train from... I thought you was going to say, I was going up to New
I was
York.
gonna say New York.
No.
Boston to LA?
I was coming to LA and demoing records and
How
doing that.
long? I just want
17 years.
How
It
long
was
did
a long
How
time.
long did it take for you to get
From
3
Boston.
days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, you seen the country.
Yeah, I have.
You just
many
looking out the
times.
window.
I've been everywhere. I have. I have. I used to come back and forth. My mother was not flying at that point, and so I would get on the train and come back and forth
3
and make my
days.
record. Yeah, it was fun.
I can imagine it though.
It was.
At 17 years old,
It was exciting.
I can. No, not you.
It was always fun on the way.
On the way back.
On the way back, you wish you could fly.
But your mom didn't fly.
Not at that point. We had a little hiatus of her saying, like, I'm not messing with these airplanes.
Yeah.
And we would Amtrak everywhere.
Wow. And so you got signed to Virgin.
I got signed to Virgin. Jeff Foreman signed me. You know him? Jeff Foreman is Mtume's cousin.
I don't know Jeff Foreman.
He was at Virgin. I got
We were
signed
too.
there.
We were there. But we were there in 2000 and...
That's what Black Round was,
2000,
right?
2002, I think.
Yeah, I got signed there. I don't know what year it was now. It's becoming a blur, which is a little bit scary.
It happens to me all the time.
But it was before Janet was there, before
Okay.
Lenny was there,
Okay.
before D'Angelo was there.
So that was way early
Yeah.
because we got offered a deal when Janet was there. I was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Wait, you were in the 10th grade? Oh my gosh.
But we were singing for Jesus, and we said we just gonna sing for Jesus.
Understood.
And look at me now.
Understood.
I could have took that virgin deal.
I could have took that virgin deal.
Been a lot further.
He could have been signed to Sir Richard Branson, man.
Oh. Well, I was there when Paula Abdul was there, and
Good nice.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
it always was perplexing to me that I was trying to be on the road like with a band, and no one could figure that out. And then I would go to these big pop shows, and there'd be like no musicians anywhere. So I was still in such a music mindset at that point. Like, I'm going to make records, but I'm an actual jazz musician. That's really what I thought about myself at that point in life. So I got signed and made that first record and wanted to move to New York so that I could keep my chops up and hang with other musicians and play. And they were like, no, you've got to move to LA. You got to come to LA. So I came to LA.
So you could be on the scene. Or the
Yeah.
LA scene, so it is.
This one lady told me, she said, you've got to come to LA because Arsenio Hall is here. We're not going to be flying you back and forth to do Arsenio Hall. That was her whole reasoning for
Just
being
one show.
Arsenio Hall was the biggest thing.
I was on it like 6 times. I never sat on the couch.
Can you get the champagne?
You said, but
Because I
never
think-
sat on the couch?
No, never.
What do you mean? You just sang.
So you would just go
I was
perform?
always there. I did with my band. I was on with Gerald Albright. I was on with Joe Sample.
Joe Sample.
I was on a bunch of times.
My
Never
God.
sat on the couch.
But you sang a bunch of times.
I did.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's all right.
He's
Arsenio
it.
Hall show used to sound good. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, Arsenio
They
was
had a
it.
crack team of
He was
sound engineers, and that show sounded great.
Top to bottom.
Absolutely.
It.
Absolutely.
We need that
We
back.
do.
Yeah.
We do.
We need it.
Yeah,
We
I
need
agree.
a place to go.
I agree 100%. It's a shame that we don't have that.
Because a lot of what a lot of the things that may resonate with our culture may not make it to the charts.
Absolutely.
And only we understand that.
Well, most things that
Yeah.
are not going to make it to the charts.
We need a place.
Yeah.
First record.
First record. When was that? 1974.
Let me look at my notes.
1990. That's my first record. Lalah
1990.
Hathaway.
I'm still going on my notes.
He's got notes.
He has notes.
I have talking points.
That was a good little record. I listened to that.
Good
remember-
little record.
When you go back and listen to your old records.
Lalah Hathaway live, is that
No,
what-
no, just Lalah Hathaway.
Just Lalah Hathaway.
Yeah.
And that was what, when?
1990.
1990.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you then when we put that out?
You know, young.
You know you can't ask no woman her age. What are you doing?
Because
Aren't you married?
it's a younger age.
Aren't
It's
you
a-
married?
But it was a long time ago.
I'm not even married, and I know not to do
But it was
that.
a long
Hey,
time
good
ago.
job,
with
good
this
job.
nigga,
Because she said,
Good job. Good
Relax,
Okay.
bro.
so you were youthful.
I was youthful. Yeah.
You was just born and you put out
You
a
were just
record.
born. You
I was an infant.
record.
Yes, and I put that record out. And luckily, people that I was wanting to work with and associate with were able to feel my intent through that record. Because the record to me is a great record. There's a lot of stuff on that record that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Smile, I'm Coming Back, which is obviously like a great song that I've recorded for 3 records in the last 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Stay Home Tonight, It's Something, which is another record that I recorded for that record that I won a Grammy for 20 years later.
Well, you won a Grammy for it 20 years later.
So It's Something is a record that I recorded on my first album. I was
Okay.
working with Andre Fisher, who was a drummer for Rufus, and he took me to get this record that Brenda Russell had written called It's Something. It's a Brenda Russell, David Foster record. And so I recorded it for my first album, and then I recorded it for my live album, but I also recorded it with this band called Snarky Puppy, and we won a Grammy for it. And that was
That's incredible.
it's like 20 years apart.
How
at least.
crazy is that?
Yeah.
Have you done that multiple times where you do a re-record of something later on?
I do a lot of covers. I do a whole lot of covers.
What's the method behind that for you?
For me, it's really making a love letter for the person that recorded that song originally. So for Forever, For Always, For Love, or Love's Holiday by Earth, Wind and Fire, or Angel with Anita Baker, or I mean, a lot of those records on the Joe Sample record are obviously covers. They're standards. Heaven Knows was my first single ever. That was a cover. You know, Jackie Graham had recorded that in London a couple years prior to that. A lot of the records that people know me for, much like my father, are not my original records.
Were you purposely doing that though?
No.
You love the song. You just like,
yeah. I like to sing stuff that I like. I mean, again, sometimes as a recording artist, they want you to, you know, make a record that people know. You know, what's the cover gonna be? You know, that's a conversation a lot of times, particularly in the part of the recording world that I was in at the time. But I mean, I was 17 or 18 years old, I always say, before I realized that my father didn't write What's Going On. I didn't know.
Right.
Not because I wasn't a Marvin Gaye fan, but because everyone I saw play that record played his arrangement of it. And so I thought he owned everything he sang.
Gotcha.
I did not know John Lennon wrote Jealous Guy. You know, so a lot of the records that he performed, he did not write. A Song for You is not his song, but people credit him for that song. So
whose song is it?
What?
You just, I mean, I only know
look it up real quick.
The Donny Hathaway version.
Well, there is only one definitive version, which is his, and I believe that's my own biased opinion. But
well, I'm with you.
Not his record. Yes, it's yours and you and me together.
Wow,
but that's not.
I did not know that.
You've Got a Friend. Obviously, he didn't write. There's a lot of records that my dad stole from people.
Carpenter, Simply Red, Jesse Campbell, Willie Nelson. Who's
the writer for A Song for You? You know who it is. You looking it up?
I am.
'Cause I don't.
You're gonna know it when he says it. I just can't call it up right now because I haven't had any breakfast. That's why.
Leon Russell?
Leon Russell. Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Absolutely.
Even the arrangement, like the piano.
That's Daddy's arrangement. He's playing it, but
he playing.
But it was an already recorded song.
Wow.
For all we know, that's an old standard. You know that one.
Nope. I know the song. I don't know that it's an old standard.
Yeah, it's an old standard, and even for when he's playing it on that record, I think the story is that Roberta is telling him the lyrics in his ears while he's singing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Too cold.
But that's the approach to a standard or a cover is to first internally is to own it.
Yeah.
In some way. But mostly it's to stand beside the thing that gave you the impetus to create that thing, like a love letter to that.
Impetus. I love that word.
I mean, one of my favorite songs of yours is not your song, technically.
Yeah.
Which one?
I Can't Make You Love Me.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to go through like singing that song at colleges, and those kids thought it was my song.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I run into people all the time.
A lot of people think that Christmas is a Chris Brown song.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways it is, but he didn't write it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you put out this first album, are you now starting to make the connection with a bunch of the artists that you see and look up to and that kind of thing, or does that take time?
That takes time. I mean,
because I say that because you come from royalty. Are they picking up on it and saying, "Oh, we gotta"?
What's interesting is, I'm very young, but there are people reaching out to me like Marcus Miller, Joe Sample, Gerald Albright.
Yeah.
I got to go, Dave Sanborn. I got to go play with legends based on that record, which is funny because the record is not like a jazz record by any stretch of the imagination. But people could hear, I guess, the intent. And I started to work like kind of constantly with people of that ilk.
Of that ilk.
Yeah.
Well, your words.
And you're at Berkeley at this time, or you're still in high school?
I graduated when the record came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
1990.
You're a baby.
You rocking and rolling.
And everybody's now reaching out.
Yeah, not everybody.
But the people you wanted.
Not my peers.
I got you.
Interesting. That's interesting.
My immediate peers.
I got you.
Okay.
I mean, I did some work on course, I just draw all kinds of. I mean, I've done a lot of work. I had done a lot of work at that point with people sort of in my immediate circle, but then I started working with jazz musicians a lot, and I think it became complicated for the label because it was like, well, where do we put you? You know, the 90s also is a vortex in terms of rhythm and blues music, particularly for Black girls. Like a lot of the girls that were coming up with me, like Shanice and Karen Wheeler and Janae, and you know, there's a lot of women trying to find their place in that industry at that point. And there's a bit of a vortex happening. Like the whole, you know, like one day I went into Virgin after the second record came out, and the whole Black department was gone. They had fired everyone, you know. So it kind of like was that in the top of the 90s for Black music in a lot of places.
Do you think it was because like your gift was just, I don't use the word mature, but so
Yeah, it was old. It was old and mature. Yeah.
So did they sign you as a jazz artist, or
No.
did they sign you as an R&B artist?
They signed me as an R&B artist because I had these cool demos that Renee and Angela had written. And one of them songs I can't find, and it's so good. I don't know whatever happened to it, but they signed me to make what ended up being, what was supposed to be like an R&B pop record, I believe. But when we got working, then it became like, oh, this is what this is. Like I used to have conversations with them about what to say on Video Soul. We would prep for interviews, and they would say, who are you listening to? And I would say, oh, I just got the new Wayne Shorter album, and I got a John Coltrane record that I really like. And they'd say, no.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
So you tricked them.
No.
You tricked them. He's like, yeah. I'm gonna take this R&B money.
Hey.
But, you know,
I see what you did
because when we
there.
had this conversation with Robert Glasper, he was like, yeah, they're gonna give you $1,200 for the jazz album,
Absolutely.
or $12,000.
Yeah.
But so
It was not-
you was out here with a big budget.
It wasn't a big budget. No, it wasn't a big budget. No, I don't think so. I don't know what you know that when you really reflect on it, what would have been a big budget in the 90s?
90s was rocking. Maybe a good.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money because I was in a kid group.
Oh,
We were on MCA, and we probably spent about $750.
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. So there's a part of my career which again mirrors my father's career, which is that I'm never not going to make records or continue to be a musician and make music. But there is a commercial element to that part of the R&B money that missed me in the 90s because I was off doing other things. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Being talented.
Yeah.
No, I get
I was off being talented.
Yeah, he's up being talented.
Yeah.
Being
No, because
gifted.
we all,
Yeah.
in this business, we all have to find that happy medium.
Absolutely.
At some point. At some point. Like you have to, you know, as gifted as you are, you have to find that space to say, okay, is this thing going to take care of me?
Right.
And how am I going to start putting myself in the space where it takes
Absolutely.
care of me other
Yeah.
than it just takes care of, you know, just my ego or what I, you know,
Right.
I'm
It's
great.
just my thing I do.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm great. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I
Yeah.
see so many artists along the way. We've all been in this business for, you know, many years. And you're like, oh, that artist is really, really talented, or they can really sing, or great performer, all these things. And me and him have these conversations, and he'll be, Jay, so what? And I'm like, that ain't gonna make no money, dog.
Yeah.
He like, yeah, but I don't think that's gonna make no money
Yeah.
because this, and I don't think that the artist wants to. I don't even know what the word would be.
Like capitulate to what is the thing that would
At
make
least
it-
kinda.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To where they're
It's a compromise.
To where
It's a
you're
compromise,
at least
yes.
digestible.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have followed the advice of many people over, you know, the years, and people said, I've had conversations where people say, oh, it's got to be this many beats per minute. That's the only way you're going to break radio. Or it's got to be a lifestyle record. You know, there's people always,
Yeah.
there's always like a man at a label that has an
always a
idea
man.
of what you need to do for your life. But ultimately, like I have never really wanted for anything. I have never, I have always been a musician. I had one job in college. I used to work at Star Market in Boston. That's the only other job I ever had.
What do you do at Star Market?
That's
like the
I was
grocery
a checkout
store?
girl, yeah.
Imagine she's checking out the grocery.
For a summer, I did it. I worked at the Cherie movie theater for 2 months.
Yeah.
Those are my only jobs I've ever done other than music.
Yeah.
So I have been okay on my path.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would like some G-Wagons and houses and all that shit. But ultimately, the legacy, the thing that I have inside of me is so important to me that it has to be good.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to want for anything. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's finding that balance.
Yes.
People tell me like, "Oh my God, my mother loves you." That's how I know. Like, that's why I have no money, because your mama. But I can't complain about anything in my entire life. I can't complain.
You just played your album for us in a very, very nice car. So I don't know about this no money thing. I don't know. Your doors went up. Your doors went up.
Yeah, I
So,
appreciate it.
It.
I'm okay. I'm always gonna be okay with being on my path. And yes, it's, I feel like this record is about to shift me into a different paradigm.
I was just about to say that.
I feel like that, but I also feel like, in the same way that people said, having the Grammys, what does that mean? And having the Grammys means everything. It means a lot. But it ultimately means that your peers respect you enough to vote for you. And I have never had a problem with respect from my peers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I have never heard anyone describe me as mid. So I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
You're
I'm
definitely
very cool.
not mid.
Yeah.
I'm so happy, though, that you mentioned about the importance of the Grammy to you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as we're going along in this business, it's like the cool thing to downplay what is our greatest award.
Yeah.
I don't care I don't even have a Grammy, but it's, in my eyes,
Yeah.
it is the greatest award that you can accomplish in the music business.
If you do music and you can say out loud, like, "Oh, I don't care about that." I mean, I understand if you don't care about it, but you have to cop to the fact that growing up, that was the shit that spurred you on. Like, you watched it, you saw depending on your age group.
Yeah.
I had a completely different Grammys than a lot of people had. I could see, Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers and Sha-Na Na, even, and the Mandrell sisters. And I mean, there was such a breadth of music when this show came on every year. It was so exciting to me that to win a Grammy is a huge deal.
Takes you to that. It's connected to them.
However, it doesn't make or break me. You know what I'm
Fair.
saying? It
Fair.
does not make or break me. I'm happy to have them. I want more of them. I do not really create with them in mind, but it's a beautiful thing to be able to have your peers salute you in that way. Absolutely.
No, I appreciate and actually love that my daughter at 8 years old already loves the Grammy. She's waiting for she's like, "Dad, so I don't know why such and such didn't get a Grammy."
She's in it.
What?
Yeah.
Completely locked in.
Yeah.
And she's not, and I don't have a super musical house, even though I do music. I don't know why, but I'm just, I kind of let my kids find what they want to find in it, and it's not like just music everywhere for me.
Yeah.
But she's just literally gravitated toward it, especially like the award shows and that type. She watching the BET Awards. Like I said, she on the Grammys. She's into it, and for me, I think that these new generations, they need something to aspire to other than I made some money or a bag or whatever that is. And that's cool because yes, we can't listen, it's the music business. You have to make money in it. But these awards do mean something, in my opinion.
But even more than that too, I think particularly for our kids, there needs to be some focus on getting them involved in the infrastructure of this business.
Yeah.
They need to know, like, the reason that the Grammys are what they are is because there's a group of people that support that body, and you can become a part of that body.
Yeah.
You can have a say.
Yes.
You can talk to you can be around like-minded people, and I think that's important too.
Yeah.
How did I have 5 Grammys though and no BET Awards? How did that happen?
Oh, you going there?
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
There goes your camera.
Yeah. How?
Here goes my camera.
It's just a question.
How?
It's
How
just
does
a question.
Lalah Hathaway not have a BET award?
It's all right.
How? What about Soul Train?
Nothing.
How?
NAACP awards. Nothing.
Which
is crazy.
That's interesting.
How do I have 5 Grammys?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 10 nominations. Just in the last 10 years.
Come on, talk your talk. Come on.
It's interesting, right? I've been watching Amanda Seales this week, and she's been really talking about it. And I'm like, I feel the same kind of way. And then I watched Rob here in this chair talking about it as well, which I thought was really interesting. It's neither here nor there, but it's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Who was it that said they don't get calls from like BET? Was it Lenny Kravitz?
Oh,
it's like they don't
he just
call
said
me.
that, huh?
He just said that. Like, they don't even call me. I don't think they think I'm black.
Oh,
well,
he's certainly
or something in that space.
Well, listen, I'm probably gonna send him a DM and invite him onto the podcast.
Man, please.
We black over
we
here.
black.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is it Vanta black?
We're Vanta Black.
The R&B Money podcast
Absolutely.
is Vanta Black.
Absolutely.
Let's walk through this. Okay, Lalah Hathaway Live, 1999.
No.
Is that wrong?
Yes. What are you reading?
Who did this? Okay, let's try another.
Lalah
Outrun the
Hathaway
Sky,
Live.
2004.
Something probably.
Okay, what's going on?
But
Got
here,
notes.
Lalah Hathaway Live is 2015.
Oh wow.
You got
Yeah.
bad notes.
Okay.
That starts the Grammy train. Yes.
Oh,
Grammy
starts the
train.
Grammy
Yeah,
train.
let's
Yeah.
get to the Grammy train.
Let's get to the Grammy train.
It actually starts with the Snarky Puppy record on that
Get you.
song that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
first recorded when I was in my 20s.
That is crazy that comes
I know.
around like that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Then on my live album, we were nominated for 3 Grammys and we won all 3. And one of them was for the recording of Little Ghetto Boy, which is my father's song, which was so sweet to me.
Special.
Like the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah.
What is? I mean, like, can you explain that feeling? Because that's just something that most of us will never have, that experience.
Of winning a Grammy?
No. Winning a Grammy for your
the
father's
collective,
record.
yeah.
It's a hard one to explain because I feel like if this were another time and he was sitting in this chair, he might say the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might echo some of the same thoughts about what the business means and how the business, how it accepts you or does not accept you and how you have to capitulate. He might say some of those same things. Mm-hmm. So for me, then to win a Grammy after being in this business and singing really good for many, many years. Many years, many months.
Mm-hmm.
To win a Grammy for that record is so sweet because I think of it almost like, remember when they gave Al Pacino The Scent of a Woman? Remember the Scent of,
yes.
was that the name of that movie?
Yeah, Scent of a Woman.
Scent of a Woman. Remember they gave him an Oscar for that? It wasn't like the greatest movie ever,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of owed him one.
Is that kind of like Denzel in Training Day?
Sort of, yes.
Although that was an incredible performance.
Absolutely.
But he still had
his body of work.
His
was-
body
The
of
body
work
of work
was
was
just
saying so
incredible.
much. And then so finally the people catch up to you. The people catch up to the art.
Mhm.
So there's an element of that. There's an element of like, it's not even my Grammy, it's Daddy's Grammy. Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's an element of that. And that it's that song on the live album recorded at the Troubadour where he recorded his album. It's so much, there's so many layers and levels of it.
Had your father won a Grammy?
I think he and Roberta won a Grammy for something,
Mm-hmm.
but he never won a Grammy for his individual work.
The Troubadour. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Lot
And
of
what's
levels.
the fifth? What's the fifth Grammy?
The last Grammy I won was
There's just so many.
So many nominations. It's hard to sift through the noms.
So many.
I think the last Grammy was for the live album. I won 3 for that album.
That's 3.
Yeah.
And then you said 1 before.
Then so it's something. Angel I won a Grammy for.
Okay, there it is. Angel. There it is.
Wait. Oh, with Robert Glasper.
Oh.
Jesus Children we won a Grammy
Got it.
for.
Got it. Robert is also has the key to the back door.
I
of
hate it when he
Grammys
goes to
somehow.
the Grammys without me. I hate that.
I just talked to him. I said, bro, can I go to the Grammys?
Yeah.
Can I go? Can I go? That means it's got to be on the album.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
Can I go to the?
It's about time.
Because I go, because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know you're going to call someone and, Put you on the list.
Yes.
Also nominated. Come on, man. Cut me in and cut it out. That is crazy.
Yeah.
So now we're, did we talk about touring yet? I think we should talk about touring.
Yeah, we should definitely talk about
Why
touring.
have we never been on tour together?
Why are you asking me like that?
I'm just talking to you because we're here.
Why have we never been on tour together?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a why.
Why do we have no records?
I don't think there's a why. I just think we don't.
Oh, all right. I'll accept that.
You know what I'm saying? Because there would never be oh, Lalah wants you to get on something and Tank would say no.
Oh, that's good to know.
And I would pray that there's never
write that down. Somebody write that down.
No, listen, no song. This is on camera. And I would pray that if I make a call to Lalah,
Absolutely.
that there wouldn't be a no. So it's
Absolutely.
and
We should
it's
do
just
that.
a great time to do that.
We should. I want to make a whole record with Eric Dawkins. We should make a record. We should make records. We should do all the shit we want to do.
With all the people we want to do it with.
Absolutely.
That would be crazy though.
Yeah.
That room.
Imagine it.
That's
what we're about around here.
Yeah.
Doing whatever we want to do.
Absolutely.
Whatever we want to do.
Absolutely.
Like, cause I mean, I think that, as we just look at the climate, like talent is making a comeback.
It sure is. And there's strength in numbers.
We're building an army. That's what we're doing right now. And so like this podcast for us is like, it's connective and reconnecting to make sure that everyone knows that we are all aligned.
It's really important. It's really important too to like sew up the infrastructure of what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So that in 20 years and 30 years, like each one of us and then all of us together to sew up the infrastructure of what this is so that it doesn't become like Baroque music in 100 years.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't become something that a patron pays to see and have the memory of in 100 years.
Wow. So are you touring right now?
I am. I'm leaving tonight.
I'm leaving.
I'm literally
tonight.
leaving. I'm literally leaving
I'm
tonight.
out.
I'm literally leaving tonight. I'm on the road right now, and then when the record comes out, I'll be on the road more.
And will there be a Lalah Hathaway tour? Just standalone,
Yeah,
you headline.
Absolutely. I hope so.
So do
Is there a reason there
you
wouldn't be?
like touring or do you like spot dating more?
I love touring. I love to get on my shit and get on a bus with all my people.
Yeah.
Twin, where have you
my
been?
bunk.
Y'all are literally
It's my favorite thing.
Getting
I
that-
bother
that top
everyone.
bunk on the right.
We stop at every Walmart
And
on the way down.
to get what?
Whatever we want.
Anything, Jay.
We need everything.
Anything.
We need everything.
We need everything. We need hot tamales and heaters and fans and stickers
Hot
and
tamales.
notebooks.
We
We need
it.
everything.
We need
It is my favorite thing of all time.
Touring.
Absolutely.
It's bus touring for me.
Bus touring.
Plane touring.
Because
You're not big on the airports either.
I don't like airports. I don't like flying, and it disrupts the instrument.
It
I'm
absolutely is
dry.
distributed.
Like I have to fly out of here tonight, get to New York tomorrow,
So that you can
and
sing.
play 2 shows
Ugh.
for the next few days.
Sean Stockman got me to get to the city the day before. That's why I started doing that. 'Cause
We
of
try
Sean.
to do that. And I was scheduled to get there the day before, and then you guys called, and I was like, all right, I'll do it.
We're blamed.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm excited to be here,
we
but
needed you
I'm
here.
definitely tomorrow going to be like, I should have just called him on the phone.
Yeah, just phoned it in. We got her via Skype. The first of its kind.
Yeah, just so you know, the R&B Money podcast, we don't do no
It's
phone
live.
handles.
I wanted to be here,
This
but-
ain't live around
But
here.
I got to fly overnight.
Yeah.
I don't like to, particularly going back east. It's hard, and your ears are stuffy, and you're tired, and
I
you're
have to
dry. And
rest.
we got all kind of tinctures and potions and things. And
Speaking of,
Ooh, that's a great segue.
can you give us some while you're here? Like, because when Jeffrey Osborne was here, we asked him, like, just all, the years of being a road warrior.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How to
Preserve your instrument.
preserve your
How
instrument.
to preserve your instrument. My instrument is relatively preservable because it's gentle. I don't holler. I don't do a lot of hollering, and I talk kind of softly. Jason, who sings with me, has a bag very much like Al Jarreau. When I used to tour with Al Jarreau in the 90s, he had an actual suitcase full of shit. It was like an apothecary in a bag. He had all kinds of lozenges and tinctures and oils and all kinds of
Can
stuff.
I ask you what an apothecary is before we move on?
It's like a drugstore.
Got it.
Yep, I ain't go to college neither.
I just,
Hey, put that out there.
Listen, within the context, I kind of knew,
Yeah,
but I just didn't want too many words to go by.
It sounded like it was some dope somewhere in there.
It sounded
cool.
like
cool.
It sounded like something underground.
I got a briefcase of dope to make sure I can sing.
That's exactly what it is.
Cool.
He's got a bunch of stuff.
Pronounce that word again.
Apothecary.
Apothecary.
I love it.
Apothecary.
Apothecary.
I know a whole bunch of niggas back in the hood that still got an apothecary. Yes, you got an apothecary with you still?
Got your apothecary. Yeah, he's got all of that stuff. And we keep, he's got drops and we have lozenges and we do tea.
Is there anything specific to you, like as we dive into the apothecary and we look at we try to visualize what's in this apothecary? What are the things that you're grabbing that, see, I like saying the word. What are the things that you grab particularly to that makes sense for you? Because you're not going through the whole apothecary.
We want your voice, so just go ahead and tell us.
Exactly.
So here's the
thing.
You I am just now like warming up and stuff before a show. I am just now learning. And PJ Morton said to me, well, you wouldn't go play basketball if you hadn't stretched. And I was like, you're probably right. I don't know. I don't really know.
I used to play and not stretch all the time.
That's how niggas get hurt, though.
That is how they get hurt. But again,
as the instrument, as it gets older, Patty Austin
warming.
told me that too. She said, do not sing without warming up. And so now I try to warm up a little. I have like a little hot tea, maybe some honey. My dad used to swallow Manuka honey. And so I do that. And that's it.
I just started warming up, like really, really warming up. New Edition tour. So when I really started, like, I was like, okay.
It's helpful, right? I used to think that talking all day was my warm up. And it kind of is. I don't always warm up traditionally with the lip trills or the scales. Mm-hmm. But you are probably also a person that sings a lot all the time. Every time I've been around you, I've heard you singing at least a little.
I sing a lot, but I also yell and laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Which is bad. And I can't stop.
I don't sing unless I'm singing. I should do it more.
I'm always singing.
I don't, yeah.
I'm like my son.
You know who's always singing? Eric Dawkins.
I mean,
and his voice reflects that. It's just so pliable and flexible and lovely.
I call him like the vocal computer.
He
can dial up anything.
I have heard people describe like what I do as perfect. It's not. He's perfect. He's almost like 100%.
I put you guys in the same place.
Thanks.
I put you in the same, and it really boils down to, for me, placement and control.
Yeah.
Like, it don't have to be a bunch of stuff. Just the right stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the sound
tagging
too,
that
though.
right note in the chord that is just like, oh, you hit that one?
But to me, it's so much about tone.
Well, yeah. And Eric Dawkins' tone is
your tone.
And your tone is.
Yeah. It's just like if you can float that thing out there like a biscuit and just let it fly through the air like a cloud.
Is it a biscuit?
Like a biscuit?
I don't know. I'm hungry. It doesn't even.
Why did I follow the biscuit too, though? I just followed the biscuit as you.
I threw some honey on it.
There you go.
I was like, yeah. I threw extra butter on the
honey
top.
you talked about earlier. What was the Manuka honey?
Manuka.
Put the Manuka honey on that biscuit.
Manuka honey on the biscuit. If you can get that, like the tone where you don't have to even do anything at all.
See, that's what you guys have that I only kind of have. I emulate people to create the straightaway tone.
Who are you emulating?
Sometimes John and sometimes
John who?
John P. Key.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Sometimes John.
The Rolodex of John's just went.
It's just crazy. Yeah, John's is crazy. And then
Crazy Tone, John.
Crazy Tone, and then sometimes, a lot of times, Mitchell Jones, and a combo of Mitchell Jones and kind of, I don't know. I just dial into whenever I'm playing something. I just dial into whatever
that
tone I feel like kind of fits that. And my Rolodex is so vast of those tones that I don't have an original straight ahead tone.
I don't believe that.
Like me moving choppy and doing all of that, that's me. But like a straight ahead, I don't have that.
You do. It's just it's
underdeveloped.
No, it's not.
I don't use it a lot.
That may be true, but it's what you sing. This is why, to me, the greatest gift is like the vocabulary. You know, like I had to do this Joni Mitchell retrospective, and I had to sing Both Sides Now. Do you know that song?
No.
I looked at life from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow. You never heard that song?
No.
It's one of her really most beautiful compositions, but it is unforgiving as a singer. In the same way, like Whitney killed the national anthem. There's a melody to that song. The way that it moves makes you have to sing it. And those types of pieces force your tone to appear and show up. It has to carry you.
I'm just good at holding the note.
I understand.
So I know, like, and then it'll get a little sloppy somewhere around there. I don't know how to clean it up a little bit.
Do you practice tones though? Like long tones, like a saxophone player?
I don't practice long tones.
Yeah, I used to. I haven't done it in a long time, but it makes so much sense.
When I hear you sing long tones, I'm like, I can't do that.
You can.
When I hear Eric do it, I'm like, I can't do that.
You can.
I don't know.
You can.
It's not
You just have to do it. It's like one.
Practice it.
It is. It's a level of practice which is I don't do as much as I should anymore. But there was a time in my life where, like, all day I would just just find tones and just see like how much I could eke out of the tone. What changes the tone? What happens when the embouchure of my mouth changes? You know.
I'm sorry, I'm going into his vocals because this is
really
master class right now.
This is
master
amazing
class. We need this class. So when you have so many different scales and so many different run patterns that you do, but you always land crazy. You always land like this. Always.
Very smooth.
Thank you.
Very smooth landing.
Thank you.
That's a great way to put it. You are a pilot.
You stick the landing.
Yeah.
Easy stick to the landing.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of it is muscle memory, but
a lot of it is muscle memory.
Are you in this place where, like, the dial up in terms of this next note, watch this?
No. Because usually I'm going to default to the pentatonic scale because it's what people understand. Right? Usually, like, if people say, like, I want to learn the riff, or if we go do clinics and I say, everybody that you love that's riffing, no matter how fast or how slow, is singing the same 5 tones in every key. If you can, and your instrument wants to be trained to do that because that's what we do. All of that is what we are trained to do. So if you practice it, your muscles will learn the memory of it, I think.
I also want to say, it's not that easy.
I love how she's breaking.
She just matter of factly, and then you just.
So this is how you make eggs. No,
you throw some cheese in there, and then it's not that easy.
I would suggest to you that it is. I sound good doing it because I've done it for 40,000 hours.
But let me also add this. I'm just going to refute you. There are guys in the NBA who shoot just as many shots as Steph Curry, but they don't make as many shots as Steph Curry because that aligns with his gift. He's not just a studied shooter.
I'm not going to ever take that part out.
Gifted shooter.
You are right. But I don't like to tell somebody that my gift allows me to do shit you'll never do. There may be truth to that. But I would never want to discourage somebody from understanding, like, this is what this is mathematically. this is how you can achieve part of this and then adapt it to whatever your gift is. That's just my approach to it. Like, I really, it's
so nice.
It's nice.
So nice.
No, and what she's saying makes perfect sense.
It makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
I'm never gonna.
It just may not sound like hers.
Yeah, but
it's not
but
gonna
at a
sound
certain
like me.
point, you gotta tell somebody, okay, so don't go up. Just stay
where you
stay here.
figure out your path.
Land there
and get on your path.
and get on and
that
just
part is important
because that's you.
But mathematically,
This
these
is
are
what's
things
possible.
we can
This is
all
how-
know.
Yeah.
We can all know these things. I'm not gatekeeping anything special. My gift comes from somewhere I can't tell you what that is.
But you had to put that work in.
But I
put
also
work in.
work at my gift in the same way. And I tell them all the time, like, I'm only up the street like 18 blocks in front of you. I'm still listening to records. I'm still learning music. I'm still practicing my tone. I still want it to be better. I still want more range. I still want more clarity. I still want to be able to emote better. All of that.
I got one more thing I want to do. I want to get my squall together.
I can't do it.
I'm close,
It just hurts.
but every time I see Zaccardi,
Another perfect voice.
Alien.
Another perfect voice.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
like I'll be like, how do you squall into that?
Yeah, it's Kim too.
Oh,
It's
Kim-
Kiara too.
Yeah, Kim is
It's a whole different thing.
yeah, Kim is like I don't know how you describe Kim. Kim is
Yeah.
like
Nuts.
when even from Trinity Temple Full Gospel Mass Choir on, I was like,
It's nuts.
what?
I love to hear that though. Hear something that I'm like, ooh, how does that happen? I love that.
It's like she created her own vocal genre.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
The Kim Burrell genre
It
where
is
it's
a
like
thing.
it's like certain turns are just her turns.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know them when
And
you hear
you
them.
know it when you
Absolutely.
hear it. Even the vibrato leading up to
Yeah.
it.
I always like the way she manipulates her vibrato too.
Mhm.
Like I use mine for recording backgrounds or doubling a vocal or whatever.
Mhm.
And she'll just use hers like a mod wheel. It's
yeah,
so cool. I love it.
yeah. Going mod wheel. That was nice. That was
Yeah,
really nice.
It's true.
Get rodeo.
Yes. Nuts.
And she played it too.
And she plays.
That's the sick part.
I don't think you can sing like that unless you can play that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's hard.
It's
We
the
can
cheat
cop what
code.
she does, but
No, it's the cheat code.
yeah.
Being able to play
Unless
is the
you
cheat
can
code.
It's not even a code. It's just part of the gift. Like
I know a couple people who can sing like that without
That can't play?
Avery Wilson can't play.
That's insane. Because he's special. I didn't know he couldn't play. Or
I've
didn't
never,
play.
okay, I've never seen him play.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I need to figure that out because his singing is somewhere else.
I've never seen him sit on the piano do nothing.
I don't play well, but I mean, you know.
I mean, you started lessons at
True.
2.5.
True.
You didn't go outside because you had to practice.
That's true.
Yeah, you got something. You got other gifts. It's just like I'm about to go down the list of the people I feel like are the coldest of the cold. I feel like all y'all can play.
A little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can Brandy play?
I don't think Brandy can play. Maybe a little bit. I think I've seen.
There's a
I
lot
think
of
I've seen you some
singers
three
that
finger
can
things.
sing real good that don't play.
But there's something different.
But there's a
if you
different
can.
level of understanding
Gotcha.
for people to.
That play.
Yeah, I think.
Because I'd
personally.
definitely be cheating.
Yeah.
Because I can play. Because I can see the chord and the
It's
note,
a thing.
And then I can go
It's a thing.
to a place.
Mm-hmm. And
Eric
you
Dawkins can
understand
play.
where your hand is not going to work, your voice is not going to work.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I can deviate and go places
Mhm.
that people aren't expecting me to go because I can just play it and make it sound
Absolutely.
good. That's how I be cheating writing songs. I'm like, well, what about this?
Try
It's
this
like,
one.
that's a whack line, Tank. You just sang it good. Layla.
Because he can play.
This is awesome. I wish you had 2 keyboards. I would have played a song with you. I
If you don't
also
stop.
am gifted at singing the wrong note at any given time.
I'm great at that too.
That is not what people are going to be expecting when they see you pop up on this podcast.
That's too close.
Ooh.
That's still too close. Get all the way the fuck out. Just get out. Just get out. Go ahead. Just hit a change.
No, I want to hear this. The audience is going to be so mad.
Good. That's fun. That is fun. Eric Dawkins is also
That is
great
fun.
That is fun.
I'm trying to go somewhere. It's Layla.
Is it? What do you find more offensive, flat or sharp?
Flat.
I agree. Because flat is like you didn't even try.
You gave it no effort. If you
Sharp-
overshoot
sharp
it,
is funny.
I rock with you.
Sharp is funny.
Sharp make hit records.
Yeah, you're right.
It really does.
You are right.
Last night. We want to know something, Layla.
What is it?
Your top 5. Your top 5. Top 5.
It's like someone threw a rock at you.
Your top 5. R&B singer. R&B songs. We wanna know on the right note.
Wait. Why do you sound like a Budweiser commercial right now?
Because that's what it is. Your top 5. Yeah. Rawr. Yeah. Top 5. Your top 5.
Just shout all over yourself. Top 5. I hate these questions.
So what? Top 5.
Everyone hates these questions.
R&B singers.
Okay.
Right now.
Why don't I just name 5 great ones?
up.
Let me just name 5, because top 5 is so hard.
Just name 5 then.
It's
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
Johnny Hathaway is number 1
Start there.
of all time.
All times.
There's just no. There's
That's what I'm
no.
talking about.
Really, there's no tone like that.
Nope. Not even close.
Makes you laugh, makes you cry.
Mm.
Luther Vandross. Very good.
Very clean.
good.
Very clean.
I try not to think about these questions because I'm going to tell you that I probably have one as well. One of the top 5 of all time tones. I just got to that in the last year and a half too.
You in the top 5.
Shout out to myself.
Shout out to
You haven't been the only person who's named
Yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who named me?
People named you.
People named
People named you.
I've watched many of your
people
podcasts.
named
You watched
and
all of them, though.
No one's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go through.
Yeah.
Thank you for those that named me. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's their mamas that like my record.
Oh,
So
here you go with
you
that.
go. That's 3.
It's hard.
Donnie, Luther,
I mean,
Layla.
Shaka,
Mm.
Stevie,
Dang.
Michael.
Top 8.
It's very hard. I'm not even scratching the surface. I'm at the top. That's why 5 is hard.
That's why we make it 5, to make it hard.
But you get the same 5 people all the time.
No.
Don't you?
No, we don't.
No.
You don't.
We don't. We don't. We
Who,
don't.
Who have you gotten that you're surprised by?
A staple obviously is like Stevie Wonder,
Yeah, Shaka,
your dad.
Shaka,
Michael.
Nah, Shaka's actually not.
No, Shaka's not stable.
Not in everyone's.
Whitney.
And it depends.
Whitney.
And it depends on the age demographic too.
Got
though.
you.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people come in and have a younger top 5, or
Yeah.
some people have. You know what I mean? Like it just depends.
Understood.
You might get an Ella Fitzgerald.
Not for.
We did get it.
What
No,
was
no,
the-
that's what
was
I'm just
the-
saying, though.
What was the question though?
Top 5 singers.
Oh, singers of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you've
Oh.
been answering something that you.
I'm sorry.
You was singing
I was
during the
trying to
damn
sing it and tell you.
Top 5.
Oh shit.
Top 5. Okay, I'm sorry. Then my list is not much different. I'm gonna say my dad, and I'm just gonna get up under his coat and say me, because I take that now. I can do that.
You better.
Singers of all time. I'm gonna say Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Natty.
It's a hard one.
What a voice.
I played the fifth.
Can't do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can't do it.
It's hard.
You only got 2 more to go.
Okay. You know, early Aretha cannot be beat by
nobody
any
at
stretch
all.
of the imagination.
By no one.
I'm really into Eric Dawkins, particularly right now too. I'm gonna put him in that.
Right.
He's in my top 5.
Yeah,
Why not?
He's excellent. Is that 5?
That's 5.
That's 55.
Top 5. Let's get out of here before she goes. Top 5
so hard.
R&B songs.
Songs. I knew this was coming, and somehow I'm still yet unprepared. You know what I was listening to on the way over here?
What's that?
Circles by Atlantic Starr. I love that record. All right. Let's move on from that.
There go. That's one.
No.
No,
No, okay.
Just,
All right.
just giving us a little.
You know, any Shaka Khan song.
Okay, that's one.
This is
Shaka Khan Essentials.
Shaka Khan
Yeah. Essentials.
Volume 1 and 2. Yeah.
Top 5 R&B records of all time.
No, just your favorite.
Oh,
It's not
Your
it's
top
not-
5.
It's yours.
listen, I am bifurcated all over the place.
I
like,
don't understand. where you
I'm
keep
sorry.
dragging
It's
these
so
words from.
hard.
What type of education? What did you major in?
Music.
Yeah, but where are the words coming
I'm
from?
sorry.
Did you go to the penitentiary for 6 months? That's the real question.
All right, let me think
Come
about
on, T.I.
it. All right. The Dissipation. Herbie Hancock, Come Running to Me. That's
Herbie.
all the Donny Hathaway songs. It's so hard.
More Essentials.
Prince, Mountains.
Ooh. I got one
Joni
more.
Mitchell, Both Sides Now. Do you know Glenn Rafferty?
I don't know Glenn
I like
Rafferty.
Come on, put us up on
A
something.
bunch of Glenn Rafferty songs I like. It's been you, woman, right down the line. Do you know that song? He had Baker Street. Remember that song, Baker Street? I love that song. Winding your way down in Baker Street. All right then. Why don't we now go to,
That's what the Googles is for.
Stevie Wonder
Help us out.
as, or, you know, any songs on that album. It's just,
Top 12.
I'm bad at trying to choose favorite
Top
anything.
39.
It's very bad.
All right, okay. Let's build your Voltron.
Okay.
Your super R&B artist.
This is going to be easy to do.
Okay. Who are you going to get the vocal from?
Daddy.
The performance style, the styling.
Performance
No,
style.
I'm not. Hold on. Let me announce it.
By performance style, do you mean?
The passion of the artist, and then since you are a songwriter who's going to write for this artist, number one, where are you going to get the vocal from for this super R&B artist?
Donny Hathaway.
Got it. Easy. Not even worried about that. Okay. That's tempo.
Period.
That's ballad. That's whatever you
Period.
need. Heartfelt, fun, laugh.
There you
said
go.
it. Laugh and cry. The performance style on stage,
Do you mean like dancing around style?
if that's what you want,
This performance
or
style?
if you just want somebody who can stand and
Who
give
get
you
the people
presence,
going.
it's your world.
Get them going in what way?
It's your world. It's your artist.
I'm just really micro sometimes. It's a bad
It's
habit.
your artist. What do you
Okay.
want your artist to do on stage?
Who you paying to go see?
I'm going to, okay, the performance style I want is going to be like my friend Hiram Bullock. He's no longer with us, but he's a guitar player, but I just watched him electrify people all over the world for years and years and years. He would just start playing and people would just, their hair would blow back.
On some rock star type.
Yeah, but he was a jazz guitarist.
I know how guitarists do. They face beat.
Yeah, it's a thing.
They get it. They
You know what those faces are.
yeah. Okay. Styling, the drip of the artist.
Oh. That's a hard one because, you know, I like to be cute, but I also really like to wear a t-shirt and jeans and just be out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, I'm gonna choose like, I don't know, like Rihanna or probably B.
Which one?
She's Beyonce. She's always super hella together.
It's always
matter
custom.
what. Absolutely.
Can't get that at the store.
You can't buy that everywhere.
Somebody has to make that for you. Someone with imported fabrics. Okay.
Imported hands.
The passion of the artist, the heart of the artist.
That's Donny Hathaway or me.
A Hathaway.
A Hathaway.
A Hathaway. That's what you should have told that damn teacher.
Yeah.
I'm a Hathaway, nigga.
I'm
Never said that.
So you know who I know? I know Lalah Hathaway.
This is only in the last 10, 15 years. Every year somebody says to me, I know this dude sounds just like your father. Every year. Like, have you heard such and such? Have you heard this one? Have you heard that one? He sounds just like your father.
Have you heard anyone that sounded close? Personally?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people that sound close. Nobody sounds like him. You know what I mean? I don't, it's.
There was a guy.
Who?
In D.C. that sang in the group with Cliff Jones. My guy Cliff Jones. I think he might have passed. I cannot think of his name right now to save my life. I know they're going to kill me. He sounded like your pops.
Yeah.
Like we were in there like, and it was the patience that he had with his movements.
Man, that
was just like.
A lot of the people that sound like him or want to sound like him can capture the part of the color spectrum. They cannot capture the pain. And that's a big part of what his sound was.
I hear exactly what you're saying.
You understand what I mean?
I hear 1,000%
so
what you're
now,
saying.
in the last 15 years, people walk up to me and say, like, I sound just like your father. I sound just like that.
They'll say that to you?
Yes.
That's a wild. Yeah,
they
that's
stop.
wild.
It is.
That's wild. That's wild.
And I always say, I am Donny Hathaway.
And there's that.
You
So
walk up to me and
So stop running up on Lalah.
please, for the love of God,
you sound like her daddy.
Cut it.
Stop it.
Cut it.
Or someone's telling me, someone on The Voice sound just like you. Like, no, they didn't. But okay, that's
Cut it.
fine.
Cut it.
Why do you want to sound just like Donny Hathaway?
Well,
Figure out what you sound like. Incorporate that. That's part of the seed of what you sound like. And then what is your sound?
and then what is your sound?
Yeah.
Who's writing for this artist?
Songwriters?
Yep.
Ugh.
You know, just making your day hard. That's all.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Are they writing songs or tracks?
Writing songs.
Top line.
Top line.
The top line being
Lyric and melody.
Lyric and
melody. I've been doing some stuff with E. Dawkins and he's killing it. Or
We wrote a lot of records with Eric, so we know.
Lots
Yeah.
of records with him.
Stevie Wonder in his prime. Joni Mitchell.
I wonder what Stevie's
Prince?
records sound like right now, like just the records he's writing.
I would love to
I would
know.
love to know
Just
that.
know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how can you, so many decades, so many songs, like he did not miss.
Right.
Like entire albums of masterpieces.
He also made impossible sound easy.
Yeah.
But I would just love to hear it though because of like a Babyface. Like Babyface still writing songs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love
and
his
hit
last album,
records
too.
for himself, for
Yeah.
other people. Like, so when you have someone like Stevie Wonder, you just like, for lack of a better term, you wonder what the music
What
still
it is now.
Yeah, what it
Yeah.
would sound like if you just pulled up on Stevie and was like, man, play me something.
Play me
dog.
something. What you working
Play
on?
me something. dog. What you working on?
It's a beautiful
Could you
thing.
imagine that saying that to Stevie Wonder? What you
Yeah.
working on?
What you working on, nigga?
Yeah.
Let me hear something, dog.
I would love to know. Because that's music I grew up with. So that music has accompanied me at every step of life. So I want to know how is it now?
Yeah.
We should start doing that. We should start pulling up on the OGs, man. Like,
For
hey, play me
real.
something, dog.
For real.
See how that work out for us.
He sounds amazing.
We might get cussed out a couple times, but whatever. Whatever.
You gotta stop.
That was ugly, wasn't it? Like mustard. Like mustard.
It's like all three of them.
What I most
I'm just
appreciate
trying to
about
do
this
something
day is the confused look that you give me. 1 out of every 3 looks is like, huh?
Cause that's what you be doing. You be doing the stuff.
I understand.
Now I'm gonna try to get through this song
I'll just
because
look over here.
in this song are the instructions for the next segment.
Because the last one you didn't know the instructions.
Because the last one you didn't listen to the instructions.
Here I go. I'm paying attention. I'm fully aware. Let's go.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names.
Hey.
I ain't saying no names. Where you was, who you was with, what you did.
Whatever.
Don't say shit. I ain't saying no names.
Very, very important segment of the show.
Talk to you. One more
Called
time.
I Ain't Saying No Names.
Uh-huh.
Where you tell us a story, funny or fucked up,
That's it.
or funny and fucked up.
Uh-huh.
The only rule to the game,
Sure.
you can't say no names.
Sure.
Not a one. Oh.
So, you know, it's been a long time out here. And I was trying to figure out the best way to tell these stories. And you know how, like, you have a firing range, but you don't know who has the bullet? This is the only way you can approach this story is to think of a couple together. And that way, it's never about the one person that you thought of that particular story about. This is making sense what I'm saying to you? I'll tell you why after the cameras go off.
Yep.
I'll tell you why. There are a lot of stories I don't tell because I am about preserving legacy.
Okay.
But I have definitely worked with artists that should know how to treat people that don't. And I was definitely sort of involved in a situation that was both funny and fucked up, but actually more fucked up because I expected a better outcome from the situation. I can't tell you exactly the story.
I don't understand.
You're
You're not saying no names.
Yeah, I'm saying no names.
It's hard. It's hard to get around those for me because I'm such like a, I tell the truth as much as possible. So it's hard to tell half of a story or tell part of a story. But I have in the recent years had some situations where I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And like I've been invited on tours that got canceled at the last minute and, you know, the regular stuff, the stuff that I don't know if it's regular for you because people's moms and daughters like you.
Tours getting canceled is just normal.
Tours, well, no, not the tour got canceled. You got canceled off the tour.
Yeah,
because the tour was about the artist and the artist decided, well, this is about me and I don't think you should be involved.
You had already packed your bags and was headed to Walmart?
I had already been to Walmart and got my hot tamales. Not a tour, but like a show, you know. It's really complicated. I'll just say that
go ahead.
I'm just not really a messy person.
This is not mess.
It gets messy for me because once I start opening, then it's all open. That's why it's messy.
That's here at the R&B Money podcast. we make you.
This sounds like a non-injury.
Yeah, we'll make you feel at home and comfortable. You know what I mean? So the information that it never leaves the R&B Money podcast.
Yeah.
It's just online.
Oh, it never leaves the.
It's just online for millions of people.
You can tell a funny one.
Funny.
Come on.
So I was doing a session with a friend who was working with these legendary singers.
Yeah.
And my friend that was producing said, please come because one of these singers is, I don't know how to communicate with her what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
And so I showed up and it was cool. But then the producer was like, hey, can you get them to do that thing that they do? And I was like, they said they don't want to do that. And now you pushing it. And so at some point, the producer was like, please help me. They'll listen to you. So I got on the mic and said, "Hey, can you do that thing you do?" And she was like, "I'm done. I'm done for the day." So that to me is not so funny. You had to
very funny how
you had to be there. She just came out of the studio like, I'm done. I tried to help her. These stories are lame now because the fact that you can't say who it is.
It gets great.
Makes it
It's
even better.
not.
Yeah.
It makes it even better.
I did tell Prince once that I had gas. That's kind of a funny story.
You just said the name. That's crazy.
Because of course she was hanging out with him. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, Prince, I got to poop.
I'm a very honest girl. What can I say? That the story I was talking about before though was harrowing because it was somebody that I held in very high esteem.
And they canceled you off.
They canceled a whole lot of things. They canceled a whole lot of people, and I just happened to be quietly in that line. But the reason it hurt was because it was somebody that I had really been trying to lift up and really been trying to support, not in the way that they need what I have, but in a way that is how you support legends.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's the worst, like when
That
the
sucks.
legendary talent and then the legendary attitude don't coincide.
I've been there.
It happens, though.
happens more than people know.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Some of the greatest musicians that I've ever met, though, are so cool.
Most, like, I think the thing that I've experienced is like the guys on a really, really high level are the nicest people ever.
Absolutely. They don't have anything to prove.
It's the mids.
Yeah.
You just said something about that.
That's the mid.
It's some highs,
It's
too,
some
though.
scandalous, hey, some scandalous mids out here.
It's some scandalous mids.
Scandalous
Yeah.
mids.
Yeah.
Mids.
Like, dog, you know you mid, right?
You know you mid.
Yeah.
Why you walking like that?
Yeah.
You can't be mid and walk and talk like that. I respect your confidence,
Yeah.
but
Relax.
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 Well, now you got to pack your bags because, you know, got to get on that road
Get on that road.
tonight. We're looking forward to the
Welcome
new
to
album.
Hill. Thank you. I'm so excited. It's
I'm-
probably the best record I've made. That's not
I'm
the
excited for
studio.
the album too, and I'm excited because of the layers. And you know, I'm gonna continue to encourage you to have fun.
Yeah.
You've more than earned that.
I
The Blackity
agree.
Black album.
Yeah.
Have a ball. The intro is so crazy,
Thank you.
but have a ball. That
I'm so
tempo on
excited.
there, that's yours.
Thank you.
Own it. Have a good time. Because I was just like literally when you were playing a couple of those songs, I was like this. Ooh, you and Black Coffee. That would be like.
Yeah.
Because he's legendary, you're legendary. That mesh of your vocal and that tempo, you would ride in that space. I'm just throwing that out there
Yeah.
in the world,
In the ethers.
to see what happens.
When are we gonna do something?
Whenever you want to.
Quit playing.
The only thing I'm doing right now is getting
my
ready for
worst-
tour.
This is my worst pet peeve in this whole business. I really want to do something with you. Oh, I'll call you Thursday.
I'll give you my address,
All right then.
and you've been here,
I mean, I know you live here, but
so we work here, and I work at home in the guest house.
okay.
Wherever you feel comfortable.
Let's go.
You want my wife to cook something?
I don't eat when I'm working, but yeah.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
All right, we have some snacks on deck.
It's okay.
Snacky Robinson got to keep snacks on deck.
Oh.
Snack King Cole. That's me.
All right. Well, you said it. Now people know.
I'd
Let's
love
go.
to.
Yeah,
I
we
think that'd be
should.
dope.
We really should. We actually should.
I might have something.
KC came on here.
And said the same thing.
said the same thing.
And now I'm about to mix his single
Yeah.
that I did.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, here's a good story, a shady story about somebody that I thought was fucked up.
Okay.
But I met this person. He's a legendary kind of songwriter dude. And I walked up to him. I was, probably 25 years old. And I said, I love your work. It has so much depth and color. I would love to work with you or write a song, or if you could write something for me. I don't know if you're familiar with what I do, but I think that what you do is for everyone. And I would love to be involved. And he said, oh, I got 200-300 songs in the can. I could just give you one of those.
You didn't want one of this?
I didn't. I don't want one of your songs in the can.
Might have been a smash.
It might have been, but I'm not interested. I was
You
coming
want,
to
you
him
want
and
the
saying,
fresh fruit.
like,
You don't want the canned fruit, huh?
I think you're great. Can we make something bespoke for both of our levels of greatness?
Bespoke.
And he said, I'm busy. I got shit I made for other people 6 weeks ago. Why don't you just sift through that and find it?
Give you some of this meal prep.
Just get that.
Not no freshly cooked meal.
Yeah.
He kind of said, "Come get this hit."
No, he has no hits.
No,
He has no more hits. He's had no more hits.
Oh wow! Oh no! Yep.
Damn it! No mas. That statement really bad. Then if you don't have no more hits. Lalah Hathaway. I know you don't. I know you don't feel like you have the perfect vocal. I feel like you have the perfect vocal.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are. I never get to fan out. When we're around each other, I never get to like. You know what I'm saying? We just be like, hey, what you doing? Like we just kind of be in passing. But I'm thankful for this moment to where I really get to actually sit and fan out over you and give you some flowers and let you know that. I
appreciate it.
Like, yes, we're listening and we're studying.
Thank you.
Yes. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you. My name is Tank.
I'm jValentine.
This is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things.
All things.
R&B.
Why are you yelling at them?
Because they got to know.
It's going to wake their ass up.
Because they got to know.
Wake your ass up. Because in the building is the coldest. Lalah Hathaway.
R&B MONEY